Hello, I'm back out at my local camp. I love this place. It's near my home. It's the woodland that's nearest to my home, but yeah, it's a special place to be this because I've been here with me mates and my son in the past, so I love it. And I brought, I'm just here for a day camp today. I brought my LK35 full of a few projects I've been making at home. I've got a stove to share with you, a stove that's new to me. And I've also made some rocket stoves, or during the Swedish torches I've been referring to them because I'm a carpenter joiner. On one of my last videos I made an offcut from work into a rocket stove that is similar to a Swedish torch. And that's what we're going to do today as well. So I'm going to show you some of my projects that I've been making that are rocket stoves or just other versions of making fuel out of offcuts that you might find at home. And also I'm going to cook some burgers as well. I brought a couple of burgers out for my dinner and we'll cook that on the Swedish torch that I've made from home and use it with the stand that I brought as well. And we're going to do some times on these. I'll share with you some information in regards to how they perform to see if they're a worthwhile endeavour or they're just a waste of my time, but they're just a bit of fun, that's all they are. Well, I've set up some of my kit to show you in a minute, but first I think we need to talk about what is a Swedish torch. Swedish torch was invented by the Swedish army over 400 years ago now, in the 17th century, in the 30-year war. It was designed out of necessity because they needed a way in which they could burn timber that wasn't at its optimum. So in other words, it was perhaps just a bit damp, bit on floor, it had moisture content there and it was not ideal. And an ordinary campfire wasn't cutting it. It wasn't getting hot enough as soon as they needed it, which was like if you're an army and you're on the move, then you need to get things dried, you need to get food cooked, you need to get warm, you need to illuminate camp, and you need to do it as fast as possible. So they come up with this idea, this invention, the best way to burn timber, but also burn not ideal timber. You're going to burn what you come across, aren't you, if you're a soldier navigating the ground. Ideally, if the main problem was moisture on the outside, this is where this thing really performs. If it's really green in the middle, it'll still probably work, but you're up against it. And but cutting out the middle section of this, as I did, I think that's very wise because that gives you a bigger aperture to put your kindling in there to get it to burn at its best, basically, or the kindling to burn for as long as you can. So I've cut this timber a bit longer, as I imagine the Swedish army would have done in practice, to get as much burn out of it as possible. And you can use a branch like I did just to dig it in the ground there and pack it in tight, and that'll stabilise the timber as it burns. So creating the aperture for your kindling to go in there and a decent amount of kindling is all part of the system of it being stacked high as well, so all the flames lick around the majority of the timber and we're exposing the flame to the driest part of the timber. Not to mention the nice flat top you've got as well for cooking on. So it's doing everything. This is why it's so impressive. And what I have seen with people do, they put pebbles on top just to raise the pan off the top a bit more, and that just gives the pan more surface area for the flame to lick on the bottom of it. But it also raises the pan off, so if there's going to be any moisture left in this, it's going to come out at the top of the end grain, isn't it? And if you put a pan directly on that, I think it's going to kind of it's going to smoke, it's going to struggle to burn. So that's when things smoke, isn't it, when it can't kind of dry out. So you're raising it off there with some pebbles or even nails or whatever you have at your disposal would be wise to kind of allowing the timber to burn at its best. But yeah, very clever design that the Swedish army invented there, and yeah, it's been a joy kind of learning about it and having a go at it myself. So let's try it out now. Anyway, let's get it lit and see how it performs. So now we've had a bit of an insight into what a traditional Swedish torch is meant to look like. I'll introduce you to my little projects here I've been developing at home. So the one in the middle there, that's one that I've tried out on the previous camp, and that's got a 32mm hole in the front and a 32mm hole in the top with a 25mm space at the top where the nails stick out for the pot to go on top. And that worked really well, so we know that one works, and that is 70mm by 70mm by 80mm tall, that one. And the one on the right is one that I've not properly tried out yet, in the sense it's got a smaller hole in in the front. It's got a 25mm hole in the front and the top, and it's the same as the middle basically. So I'm just trying out the smaller hole in the sense that obviously you're going to get more timber to burn, so you might get a longer burn out of it, but I'm a little bit concerned about the air, if you can pull enough air into function how we want it to, but we'll find that out, won't we? On the left hand side there is what I'm referring to as the Joiner's Torch Mini. Yeah, it's a little tiny thing. I think I'm really pushing my boundaries here with regards to how small I can go, and obviously you need a smaller pot on that because of how close the nails are together. But same principle in the sense that it's 25mm high off the top of the joiner's torch, and then it's 42mm by 42mm wide, and I think it's 70mm high, that one, with a 25mm hole in the front and the top. And these two little things at the front here I'm referring to as fire cubes. You've heard it here first, Neil B Outdoors. On the left hand side there we've got a 70mm by 70mm by 30mm tall block of wood with these nails sticking out that are 25mm high like all the rest. And then on the right hand side you've got a fire cube mini. It's got a 30mm hole in the top, so yeah, that's something you use underneath a pot stand of some fashion. You know, you could perhaps use tent pegs and things like that. What I've done different with these, once I'd actually made them and I've drilled all the holes out, melted some wax, and I poured it all in and laced it all with wax on the inside just to kind of keep it alight for longer. That's the idea, and I've done that with all of them. The holes I've drilled in the two at the front there, the fire cubes, they've got a 20mm deep hole with a cotton wool pad that's covered in Vaseline, and then they're capped off with hard wax as well, so they kind of keep all that kind of gooey Vaseline tucked away until you need it, and we'll break the surface and then we'll light that, and then it makes it for an easier ignition, doesn't it? So that's the idea with them, the fire cubes as I'm calling them. So now I think what we need to do is just try them out, and I think I'll start with the fire cube mini, and I'll pop some tent pegs in the ground. I think that's the best way to do it with that one, and then we'll put my pot over the top of that. Again, 25mm from the top of the fire cube. We'll get it lit, and we'll see how long it takes to burn, and if it does boil some water. On all these tests as well, we're doing 350ml of water. That's just kind of what my coffee pot does. So yeah, we'll monitor the time, and we'll hopefully get to a boil on all of them. I don't think Trangia is going to be worried anytime soon. Next up though is, I'm excited about this, the Joiner's Swedish Torch Mini. This, I've got high hopes for this. I think this is going to do alright, because we're obviously, it's more like a rocket stove, isn't it? How you can pull air in the front, and as I mentioned before, this is wax lined whereas the other one weren't, so I think this will take a lot quicker and yeah, get going and certainly kick out some heat. Something I did differently to this, because it is such a small footprint for the pot to go on, I've actually drilled some holes in the sides here as well, so you could utilise more of these nails and push them in the sides, like just to increase the footprint if you think your pot's a bit big. Yeah, that'll kind of just make it a bit more steady, which I think is necessary for such a small footprint pot. So we've got that option as well. Actually on this one as well, I think was wise, because I've lined it inside with wax, is that I actually drilled a bit deeper down from the top than where I drilled through the face, in the sense that there's like a pocket at the bottom there. I don't know if you're able to see on camera, but it kind of goes down a bit. So in other words, when all this wax starts to melt, it drips down, doesn't all pour out the front. It'll hold a bit in the bottom there. So yeah, I'm excited to see how this one performs, but I've got high hopes for it. But yeah, I suppose it's just a question of whether these pot stands, it's going to work well, but I think these will be compromised at some point, so we'll see what time it does. But yeah, let's get this one lit. It's gone out. This could be due to the smaller hole, this less air intake. Give it a chance to get going. Yeah, that's going. Lid on. This is a rocket stove. Well, it's going like a good one now. Now it's just a question of whether we're going to lose structural integrity, I think, because the stove is the fuel, and the fuel is the stove. Oh, heck, have I blown it out? Is that a fail though? If it goes out, I've had to assist it, haven't I? So it needed a little bit of love, didn't it? It's really going for it. Look at the jets coming outside. Oh, that's really going. That's definitely going to boil now, isn't it? Let's have a look. Here we go. That's a boil. I'm calling that. Not a bad time. It's not fast, is it? But it's not a bad time. But it didn't collapse. How sturdy is that? It's not bad, you know. Yeah, that's still pretty sturdy. It could totally still go, that. A bit more life left in it. Yeah, you're not going to boil much more water than 350ml, I think. So it was a success. It was an improvement on time, and as I mentioned, and I think there still is some stability left in these pot stands, so could still go a bit further. But yeah, it's not going to win any awards for speed, is it? But as I keep saying, it's just a bit of fun, and it's just burning through bottom there. Well, during this Swedish Torch Mini, did it in the end, didn't it? Got there in the end, and it survived the weight of the 350ml worth of water. But next up is the Journey Swedish Torch Large. These are the ones that I've used before. This is what I used in the last camp, basically. The only differences to these two is that they're a bit smaller in height. These are 80ml tall by 70 by 70. This one's got a 25ml hole in the front of it and the top. This one's got the 32ml in the top and the front. This is what I used last time, that was 100ml tall, and it worked very well. But I've done these ones 80ml tall because they fit inside the stove or the pot stand I'm about to show you, which is a Sterno stove pot stand. So I'm going to use that pot stand, slide this one inside. Well, I'll slide the 25ml one inside, let's say. I cannot use that one before. Like that, cook on that, and then I'm going to get the coffee on the go on this one. I won't pop the coffee on straight away, but 5 or 10 minutes before my burgers are ready, I'll stick that on. But yeah, the thing is that we get them going at the same time to see if one lasts longer than the other. So let's go with that and get me burgers on the go. So this is the Sterno stove, folding stove, and that's the Sterno gel kind of stove. That's what it's all about, really, the stove. This is the Sterno pot stand, I suppose you call it. But yeah, it's ideal for camping, picnics, tailgating and emergencies. So let's I've had this out before and I've had a play with it, as you can imagine. I've actually done some modifications to it. It's a little bit fiddly at first to get used to, but I'll just kind of see if I can remember. These little grooves here are what locate the side panel here. Just click in there, and same again on this side. Them grooves there locate that, and then this one wants to be inside, really, like that. You see, so they're located in there, and now they push down into these other grooves, if that makes sense. There we go. There you go. So you've got a groove there, a little indentation where it locks, and it on the other side, so it wedges it in. If that makes sense there. And that does it on both sides. Just imagine
and then once you've got it located in there, you push that down, it locks into that groove there and there. And this had an arm on it that I broke off earlier today because I don't need it. That's what holds the Sterno fuel gel thing. I'm not going to use one of them ever really. I've weighed it as well. It's 250 grams for those of you who count your grams like that, and it's made out of aluminium predominantly with these steel kind of bars everywhere else. 160mm by 160mm on top. It's 120mm tall, 5 inches pretty much, and that's the front door. Just for wind, I suppose, so you can get to your stove, and also you can kind of like control the air that gets to it. But I like it. I think this is a really sturdy little thing for numerous things. But I also modified it as well. So I've drilled some holes either side here, there and there, right through, and I'll just show you what you can do with that. What that allows you to do is form another platform for the transier. I think I can slide these in and pop the transier in after. But yeah, I've done them just the right size apart. Yeah, you can just get that in. There you go. And I've done it so it's 25mm, a sweet spot away from the top there, which transiers, all transiers stands seem to be around that kind of size, so we know it's working with what transier recommend. And yeah, you get your little windshield bit. What's different about this than other pot stands, I suppose, like even the transier triangle that I'm a big fan of, is the size of this thing, the sturdiness of it all. You can put a pan on there, it's not going to go anywhere. It's a really rock solid bit of kit, not to mention obviously you get the wind deflection as well, but it's more versatile. That's what I really like about it, because it's not, you can put your transier in there, you could drill as many holes as you want in the side of here to make it accommodate any kind of alcohol stove really. And not to mention what we're just about to use it for, which is putting the Swedish torch in there. So as I mentioned, the Swedish torch is 80mm tall. I've done that so it works out that I'll get that 25mm away from the top. So I'm just going to pop this in there like that rascal, and then cook on that. So let's give it a go. Right, it's food prep time now. I've got all my food out on the chopping board, my tomatoes and my onion and my burgers and my cheese and my bun. It's not a burger bun, it's a big bun. It's like big enough to take 2 burgers. That's what it is. So yeah, I've got all that prepped. I'm just going to start chopping my onions now, and I've got my little seating area here ready for later on, where I can sit down and enjoy my burgers on the wool blanket and my sheepskin rug. So time to get cooking. So I'm just going to get my onions chopped and get that ready before I light the stove, to kind of get the most burn time out of the stove and give it a fair test. So I've got my Sterno stove stand ready to go, got my Swedish torch ready to go, got my pan. This is what I like about this stuff. I think it's just really sturdy. It's really good hand stand. Over here is the kitchen. Got to cut things up, get things prepared, and then up here I've got where I'm going to light the other Swedish torch for my brew for later on. But I'll take this off now and I'll get that lit at the same time as I light this other one, and we'll see how long they last. That's interesting, causes a bit of smoke, doesn't it? I think that flame certainly struggles more when you've got a pan over it. Yeah, I think I might raise that up a bit. Yeah, that's performing better now. I've raised up the Sterno stove stand up on some timbers. Probably got about 80mm now from the top of the Swedish torch to the bottom of the pan, and it's not struggling as much to expel its heat. And I think it's better being higher up as well. You get more control of the flames that way. We're good though. Yeah, we're right now. We're cooking. So my coffee pot stove is definitely an easier one to light, being a 32mm hole. That's the first thing I've definitely noticed, that yeah, it lights quicker, and I think it can definitely pull more air in. As you'd imagine, it's got more space to breathe, hasn't it? So it's the
immediate thing I've noticed between the two. Will there be enough flame in it to cook my burgers and my onions? Shall I give it a blow? Makes all the difference, doesn't it? That's proper going now. And there's definitely a difference in, as you would imagine, how much more burn time there appears to be on the Swedish torch that only has a 25mm hole in it. Comparing that now to the Swedish torch that has a 32mm hole in it, you know, it's kind of going out a little bit, isn't it? And you can see there's a lot less timber there to burn. Let's give it a bit of a blow. So I think I should put my brew on now, so I've definitely got a hot coffee then. Let's get that on now. I'm starting to get concerned about the integrity of this pot stand now a little bit. Some fat coming out of them burgers, isn't there? Probably didn't need that coconut oil, but mind you, it is nicely browning my onions. How is it doing, the old 25mm hole Swedish torch? It's doing well. I think protecting it from the air as well. You know, I should probably have put a wind deflector around the other one because it's obviously getting more oxygen as well. In fact, let's put a wind deflector around that. I should have done that sooner, shouldn't I? That's going out now. Yeah, I think I've made the mistake there. It's just had too much oxygen. We're not in fair test territory now, are we? She's fully ablaze now. Things are getting serious. I hope I don't hear my pot falling off when my back's turned. And keep an eye on that rascal. That's leaning. Oh, I've lost one. Oh heck. Been compromised. Right, I'm gonna have to improvise now, aren't I? Can't turn it off. Right, we're in a bit of a pickle. Just set up my tent pegs down there. Let's get this down there. Oh, proper pickle now. Right. Save that. So that's definitely not going to last, is it? I think we've got a decider on that. But will it boil? The mistake was not putting that round from the start. How's this one doing? Oh, it's ticking down, isn't it? Still got plenty of meat on the bone though. Yes! That's still cooking. Not looking good for this one, is it? Just need it to boil my water. Yeah, I'm going to call that. I think it's done it. I think it's got me there. I think they're done. Dishing up time. Well, it's done it, what I needed it to do. What I might do is pop that there, put my coffee on the other one. Yep, bit hot that, Neil. Let's get your glove on. There we go. I think it's pretty conclusive that, yeah, the bigger holes do mean less burn time, but it's not completely fair, is it? Because I didn't put the wind deflector around it. So yeah, that's a bit unfair, that. Got a boil. We got there in the end. You know, it's not completely gone. There's still a bit of burn time left in that. So success. Anyway, let's dish up and sit down and have a brew. Here we go. Dishing up time. Get these in my bun. My. Yeah, this is a big, it's a big bun, isn't it? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Should have got a bigger bun. Onion. Onion, anybody? And then a bit of red sauce to finish it off. Oh yeah. Ooh la la. Will it shut? I don't know. Oh, let's get it on my plate. And there you have it. Enjoying a Swedish torch cooked double cheeseburger, tomatoes, cheese, onions and tomato sauce. It's going to be a messy job, this one, isn't it? It's a whopper, isn't it? Yeah, I made too much, Anna. Yeah, I'm going to tuck into this now. I'll bring you back in a bit with my face full of sauce, no doubt. I ate it all. Yeah. I was hungry though. There's a lot of running around to do, you know, when you're preparing for a camp and things like that. And I think I do have a big appetite. This spot, this time of year, completely like covered in greenery. When you stop, when you're filming and when you're doing this kind of thing, you are busy all the time, which I enjoy. I enjoy all that. But as you can imagine, I do look forward to them moments when I have a bit of a sit down and really do what you need to do, which is enjoy nature. And here, although it's very close to, as I mentioned, my home and literally like roads and residential areas, you can feel so in the middle of nowhere, really, apart from the traffic noises obviously. But yeah, if you can shut that out, which I totally can do because I live on a main road, it's not really a problem to me. But if you can shut that out and really just let yourself go, there's medicine out here for everyone, I think. Everyone. Just to sit in amongst this. Some people call it nature bathing, don't they? Or like when you walk barefoot on the ground as well, like on the soil and the grass, they call that like grounding. And I think there's something in it, you know. There's definitely something in it. But as I was just looking back then, I'm completely surrounded by birds. And I feed the birds in my back garden, but we struggle to get all the species that we would like to get, which you totally can get if you really put your effort in, you know, with certain kind of bird feed. But here, I've seen all sorts. Not that I know the names of them all, but all the little tiny birds that I really want in my back garden, they're here. Yeah, they're here. That's where they are. This is where they are. And I'm in their gaff. I think I'm just going to sit here, enjoy this for a moment, finish my brew, and maybe see if I can get some footage of a little bird, maybe. Or maybe I'll just sit here and enjoy it. I think I'll do that. Well, that's it. I've had my rest, I've had my break, I've had my time with the birds and my nature bathing all done with. for now anyway. And my last sip of my brew. Packing away time now. I'm just going to tidy things away, and then I'll bring it back when I'm all set to go. But yeah, it has been good. Well, that's it. It's time to say goodbye. But I've had a really good time. I hope you've enjoyed yourself. Hope you found some of the things that I've done interesting. I'm glad to get these ideas out of my head. It's been. I do that. I get these things in my head, and I just want to make them and see what happens with them. And not all my ideas are great, as you can imagine. But you know, every now and then there's the odd one that pays for all the ones that are rubbish. But yeah, hopefully you found this entertaining. From the double burger bun to a nice brew to just trying out some kit and then trying out some projects in the woods, and being in the woods and just being in amongst all this lovely green, it's just been great for me. So I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you next time.